Hi, it's Jennifer McKenzie, your K-12 district teacher librarian, and here's this week's PD or staff book talk. I'm going to share some more Gale database ebook access with you. And reminder, it is National School Library Month. So if anyone actually watches this book talk, you can email me or talk to me in the hallway, and I've got a $5 Dutch Brothers gift card for you. All right, I'm going to share my screen. Here we go. And now, a reminder to get to all the beautiful, lovely resources from the library. We go to the district homepage or your school site homepage, Library Media Services. Here we go. That's where everything lives. Then we click on Gale Resources. And this is where we take our kids to research reliable, credible information for any paper they're writing. And this is where the ebooks and the PD simultaneous user access books live. So that means anybody in the district, any number of people at the same time can open and access these resources. So the first thing I want to remind everyone is that we have part of the grant that we wrote, we received Cameron's collection. So there's a hub for our little elementary kiddos and then also our secondary kiddos. And the whole point of Cameron's collection is that they're easy to access free digital resources for parents and students at home so they can privately, anonymously access information about tough, tricky topics. And then they're also, for teachers and school staff, so you can utilize these resources as well. So I'm going to hop over into the secondary hub. And then you can see the types of conversations that we can have with our students and resources we can find. Cyberbullying, there's health and wellness resources, yoga, etc. And I did want to zero in on this specific resource right here because we did just experience a suicide in our school district recently. And I'm speaking from personal experience working with wounded warriors in the military, and then also experience having worked down in Jackson County for the past decade. The more we talk about suicide, the better off we'll be. Okay, so it tends to be a taboo topic that is really shocking to people and people don't want to talk about it, but we have to, okay? We all need to be trained in recognizing signs and symptoms. We all need to be, if you ever encounter a person that you believe might be expressing suicidal ideation, you point blank ask them, are you thinking about committing self-harm? It's uncomfortable, it's awkward, but it's best practice, okay? So anyway, here's how you access those resources. And just know that they're there for you, okay? So then the next hub I want to jump over to are PD ebooks. And I've been sharing these the past couple, probably like month or two. Again, if you're asked to type in a password, it is Sayusla, all lowercase. And I've been sharing a lot of health and wellness, self-care books, a lot of Dan Tricarico's, The Zen Teacher and Sanctuaries. I want to focus on Culturize this week. I'm just going to open up the whole entire collection just so you can see all of these beautiful, brand new, simultaneous user access, fabulous books you have at your fingertips. And again, ebooks are all about access. When I survey students and staff, about 85% of us say we still prefer to have a hard copy of a book in our hands to read. That's how I prefer to read. But ebooks are about access, okay? The district may not be able to dish out the money to give every single person in the district a copy of one of these books, but we all have access through the ebooks. And when the pandemic hit last year, the school systems that had a robust ebook, whether it was Sora or some other platform, if you had a robust ebook infrastructure, you had no problems with getting kids books in the middle of a pandemic because you just did a pivot from physical to ebook. And it was a little bit more challenging for Sayusla because we didn't have that built in. So we are attempting to build our Sora ebook access for students and staff, and also some access here in Gale. Long story long. check out Jimmy Casa's Culturize. So again, if you're used to reading digital material because of the pandemic, it looks like any other digital book, you know, a book from Kindle, whatnot. I'm going to hop on over to the table of contents just so you can get an overview of what this book is all about. And I'll tell you in a nutshell, we know as teachers in the classroom that first and foremost, before we try to, you know, get into any content and curriculum with our students, we need to build relationships first. Okay, we have to have trusting relationships in our classrooms. Everyone needs to know what the boundaries and the rules are. And until you establish that, you're not going to get into the learning. So the same applies for culture in organizations and school systems. Oftentimes we're like, oh yeah, we don't have time for that culture stuff, or we'll get to it down the road. And then you try to go about your business doing whatever. If you don't have a healthy, established school culture, you're going to have a hard time getting anyone to do anything else. Okay. So culture is key. And you can see from the topics of the different the titles of the different chapters, you can kind of see how Jimmy's getting at that info. I love this one. Everyone is a leader. You bet. You do not need permission from anyone to lead in whatever position you are in your school system. You do not need to ask permission to lead. So Jimmy is just fabulous. I want to pop over real quick to Twitter and say something about that. So I'm a library media specialist. I have extra degrees in media literacy, and I'm also an English teacher. So a lot of our PD sessions from the library, many of them have been about different types of social media, because that's also part of my job, is to teach students and staff members how to use the power of the technology that we have at our fingertips, like social media, to amplify our message. All right, and Jimmy is he does an excellent job of modeling that. He's also Dave Burgess published author, national speaker, you know, former school, amazing, awesome person. And he's also part of the Future Ready team. So they're the team in our country that is, they're innovators. They are showing us what we should be doing with what we have and where we're at right now. So Jimmy's a person to follow. And what I love the most about him and Twitter, so I only spend about 30 seconds a day on Twitter. I get up in the morning, I check Jennifer Lagarde's tweets, and I shared her resources last week, media literacy, and then I check Jimmy Casa's. And his thought of the day is short and sweet, and he speaks truth. All right, so sometimes we fall into the trap of feeling like we have to resolve an issue right away after it's brought to our attention. It's okay to ask for time to process the info and then revisit the convo at a later time. This often brings clarity to the problem. Culturize. Yes, absolutely. And there's one down here from a couple days ago I really wanted to share with you. He oftentimes speaks from the perspective of like a district leader or a principal. And I just wish all principals shared Jimmy's mindset. Here we go. Here's one that I loved. Effective leaders are also effective managers. Rather than sit across from the table like bosses, they sit on the same side of the table like partners. Great partnerships make for healthy progress. Preach, Jimmy, preach. All right, so check out those resources. Continue to celebrate National School Library Month. If you actually watch this, let me know. And I've got a coffee card for you. All right. Thank you so much. Have a good one.